We want to make sure that the people of Jacksonville that are watching, that they're paying attention, that they know their evacuation zone, that they know exactly what they're going to do in the event of the threat, even the threat of a hurricane. I've made public safety a top priority of my administration, and it integrated that into everything and all that we do. So again, this awareness today is consistent to that end. First, to talk more about the upcoming guide and how Jacksonville citizens can prepare for emergencies, please welcome Director Steve Woodard.
Thank you, Mayor Curry, for those remarks and for always making public safety a top priority. I'd also like to thank the National Weather Service Jacksonville office for partnering with us to create this year's guide and for making it useful to the community during hurricane season and year-round. A special thanks to Scott Cordero, the National Weather Service, and his team, Angie Agnetti and Kate Gillette, who worked with Megan Graham on our staff to make this year's guide a reality. The Preparedness Guide includes information on evacuation zones, evacuation routes, important telephone numbers, and important information for our military families. The guide will be distributed in this Sunday's edition of the Florida Times-Union. It will also be included in the Mayport Mirror and the Jax Air News. Beginning next week, copies of the guide will be available at City Hall, senior centers, public libraries, offices of the tax collector, the Mayport Navy Exchange, Lowe's, Walgreens, Waffle House locations, and Walmart neighborhood markets. It is also available online at jaxready.com. Now I'd like to introduce one of our key partners for preparedness, Scott Cordero, the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service office in Jacksonville.
Good afternoon, everybody. Every year we have our predictions that we forecast how busy our tropical season is going to be. And generally, we're going to be near normal during this particular time of year. That means 10 to 16 storms, 4 to 8 hurricanes, and 1 to 4 major hurricanes that occur across the Atlantic Basin and the Gulf of Mexico. Regardless of the number, no matter how many numbers that we predict, if it hits our community, it's considered an active year. So it's always it's a time to contemplate, it's a time to act, it's a time to plan with your family, your friends, and your neighbors. Get that insurance checkup. Also, make sure you have your kits available. Also, have contact numbers available. And also, if you do evacuate, have a place planned out where you have to stay. Oftentimes, during hurricane season, we see towns and communities that get geared up ahead of time, but sometimes we don't. We see those often trips to Lowe's and Walmart, and often in quite a hurry, and it's actually a good time to think about, hey, do I want to be in that predicament this year in the case that we do get a hurricane in our area? So plan ahead. Get the necessary things for your home and your family, and also for your pets. A lot of times people have a moment or give pause of leaving because of their pets that stay behind, and also include those pets, also the elderly as well. And also think about those things that you need to pack with you, such as medicines and supplies and those type of things. No matter what the year brings, it's always a good year to plan. During 1992, we had a horrific year in South Florida with Hurricane Andrew. Over 250,000 of people were left homeless during that particular time. There was only 6 storms during that particular year, and the first storm of the season was a Category 5, and that was Hurricane Andrew that occurred and affected that community for a long, long time. So with that said, just be cognizant of it. It just takes one to change our community forever. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Scott gave some great hints on insurance, which if you look at this, there's a lot of things you got to get ready for. Check your insurance policy. Make sure you know what your hurricane deductible is. And if you're in a flood zone, make sure you check your flood insurance. Make sure it's what it needs to be. But there's a lot of good information in this booklet. Like Steve was saying, get it online. That's probably the easiest way to get it. I think they've done a nice job of making it the right size this year and making it available for everyone. So get your guide, get ready, because you never know.